What up, everybody? So today we're talking about reflexes and reflections. So a lot of us, we reflect with a reflex. Does that make sense? So a lot of us, we do a lot of thinking and remembering, which is when you remember, you reflect. So we do a lot of reflecting daily without being aware of the fact that we are reflecting. And so the fact that we're not aware of that would mean it's being done involuntarily, which makes it a reflex. So this is what I'm talking about today. Now it's important because it's behind everything we do. You can only live what you remember. I can only do something at the time that I remember. Have you ever done something and then you thought about it later, you're like, why didn't I do it the other way that I know is better? Well, because you didn't remember at the time. You remember later, and that's why you had that thought. But you can only live in the moment what you are able. Now that's big, because if I want to manipulate you, or if I want you to go down a different course, or I want something that is meant to live to start to die, I just have to make it remember things that would do such a thing. And so we've only been taught how our body decays. We weren't taught on how to keep our genes doing what they do naturally, which is regenerating themselves. And if you look at the series I did yesterday, the only reason we get sick is because we have faith in what we've been told about how the body decays. And the body does decay. People think I say that stuff's not real. No, it's real. But I'm also saying there's a way, a natural way, your body regenerates its own genes. And there's a way you can tap back into that. But first, you need to be reminded, because this isn't taught to us in class. This is why your doctors need doctors. So it's not something that's shared. So this is why So I do it. So now you have it in your mind. I plant these seeds so you can reflect on it. You could come back at a later time and remember what I said. You could come back to these videos at a later time and remember what I posted. It gives you an opportunity to reflect. It gives you a chance to brainstorm and to water that seed that I helped plant. This is why faith comes by hearing. If you haven't heard, how would you know? If you don't know, once again, you can only live what you remember. If you don't know, you won't even have a chance to remember it, meaning you won't have a chance to live it. This is why I got to do this. They got a lot of things that got you going down a road that they want you to go, which leads towards death. Life and death is in the tongue. There's two ways you can go. Ask people around you, how do you get sick? What is disease? I bet you everybody can tell you that. Now ask them, how do you prevent it? How do you cure it? I bet you nobody you know will be able to answer that. So that already tells you what. So that just tells you what kind of world we're living in. Do we live in a world that's about living, or a world that's about death? Well, ask people around you those questions. Everybody knows how to die. Nobody knows how to stay alive. Now, if I'm wrong, then hey, maybe it's just my group of friends. But you know, there's not many I know that know how to prevent all disease and how to cure all disease. So let's just call it what it is. So that's the world we in. This is the track they got you on. Now your genes regenerate themselves. So the fact that you're doing something opposite of that means you're doing something unnatural. This is the unnatural part. Now you're doing it and you're not aware that you're doing it. That's the biggest problem. Now it wouldn't be a problem if you were aware, because that means you chose to do it. So you had a choice. But when you're doing something and you're unaware that you're doing it, you don't even have a choice. You don't even have a chance. You can't even fight in this battle. And so I'm here to remind you, so that way you are now able to have a fight in this battle. You can now reflect. Now these movies, they do a lot of this stuff in these movies. If I want to channel something, if I want to make you a medium for something that's not in this world to be brought into this world, that's what channeling is. Just like when you watch TV, it's channels. Now the reason why it's the same word is not by coincidence. It's on purpose. When you watch these things, you turn your TV off, you turn your laptop off, you turn your phone off, you got a black mirror. Go Google black mirror magic. Now what happens is this magic interacts with the mirror in your mind that you use to reflect on when you remember things. Now I could channel something that's not real into what you call reality by putting it in front of you on these screens. And so you watch it, and then at some point it plants a seed. You think about it later. And some people even act off these thoughts because they feel it, then they do it. And now you just channeled something that wasn't even real. And you made it. Perfect example, your body decaying. It's not supposed to do that, but you watch all these movies that tell you food does this, this does this, this does this. You accept those beliefs. Look at my series I did yesterday. You now have faith in these things. So that faith is what's going to make it happen. It's not that that actually happens, but because you believe it will, it will. And because you reflect on it with your reflexes, meaning you're not aware that you are reiterating these lies to yourself in your brain, your inner dialogue, abracadabra, you create as you speak. This is why it's called mirror magic, abracadabra. Because when you are sitting here thinking about it, you have an inner dialogue. That is the speaking. Because even before I speak right now, I got to think about it. So when you hear speaking, they talking about your inner dialogue. Now what comes out after? Everybody, that's the second part of speaking. The first part is what everybody got to do before they even speak, and that's thinking. That's your inner dialogue. That's